We're in Liberty, Missouri on the Canadian Pacific Kansas City subdivision in Liberty, Missouri. This ex-Milwaukee road line only saw 3 passenger trains in each direction in around 1920, was sold off by Canadian Pacific in 1997, and reacquired in 2012 to become the route between 3 nations. We meet in northbound at Birmingham Road before setting up. Boston, Maine.
That had to have been I mean,
look at that one.
That couldn't be.
I mean, that was like professional pictures painted on it. He was holding a gun there.
I don't get it though. I wonder how much gets on the cars.
I wondered that too. So what's the point of having the openings in it anyhow?
I don't know if just to have some light. So when you're putting them on, I don't know. God, how old are those things? It's like every car.
Yep, 94 cars long. From Blossom, Missouri into Kansas City, these tracks are also shared with Union Pacific's Trenton sub towards Des Moines, Iowa.
I'll try to get in the way of your shots.
139 cars long.
Oh, it's right there.
They're going fast, what you think?
Right.
Yeah, they are.
They're going this way.
.2816 is the first steam locomotive to travel along these tracks in 18 years since Milwaukee Road 261 did in August 2006. I did like that they had a 40-foot boxcar as a tool car. Some Kansas City Southern cars were on this train in CP Maroon, but not lettered for CPKC. The inspection car also sounded its horn as it disappeared towards Birmingham Junction. About an hour later, 40B tied down in Knoche Yard, and Canadian Pacific 2816 has officially entered the CPKC location, the only place Canadian Pacific and Kansas City Southern interchanged. Canadian Pacific 2816 is an H1B Class 464 Hudson. Built by the Montreal Locomotive Works in 1930, it spent most of its life based out of Quebec City. After being retired in May 1960, 2816 was acquired by Steamtown as it was the closest thing to a New York Central Hudson. In 1998, Canadian Pacific acquired 2816 after looking for an engine similar to British Columbia's Royal Hudson 2860. 2816 returned to steam in August 2001, traveling across Canada and as far south as Chicago until being retired in 2012 and put on display in Calgary. In 2020, 2816 was steamed up for the virtual holiday train video and was subsequently overhauled as the CPKC merger was considered. In 2023, 2816 did some test runs around Alberta after being fitted with positive train control. The transcontinental final spike excursion left Calgary on April 24, 2024. 2816 also has a reverser wheel, unusual on North American locomotives. New York Central and Pennsylvania were the only other major users of them. For this run, 2816 had two water cars. FSPX 4219 is Southern Pacific 4449's water car, originally built for AC-10 cab Ford 4219 in 1942. In 1958, 4219 was scrapped and the tender became an MOW water car. It became 4449's water car in 1980. I'm surprised they didn't paint the CPKC logo on 4219. The other water car is 35508, which came from the Delaware and Hudson Challenger 1517. It was based in Binghamton, New York before being acquired by Canadian Pacific. 1401 is an FP9 originally built in 1956 for Canadian National. After being retired by Via Rail in the late 80s, it was sold to the Nebkota Railway along with an F9B and FP7. Canadian Pacific acquired the trio in 1998 for their business trains. 4107 is also an XCN FP9. It was acquired by the Ohio Central in the 90s and became 6313. In 2006, Canadian Pacific acquired both Ohio Central FP9s for the Royal Canadian Pacific, a luxury train which only runs under private bookings. Tool Car 29114 is similar to boxcars that were used on mail and express trains which had passenger car power cables and high-speed axles. It has been used as a tool car since the 90s. While taking pictures of 2816, they were draining the water cars. The crew then told us they were going to move the engine to better drain the water cars for cleaning. 2816's tender and boiler would also be drained and cleaned prior to going on display at Union Station a week later. Stay tuned for that video, it's a big one.